It is 8 o'clock in the morning here in Whitefish, and I am headed down to a beautiful off-roading trip with the Firestone Destinations crew down in Moab. It's a 14-hour drive, and what a perfect time to do a long-distance test of the ULTIMATE9, and is it really actually fuel efficient? Now that's a really good question because that is their claim. I've done some testing, but I had my trailer with me, so it wasn't true testing. Obviously, my truck is an overland rig, very heavy weighted down with 35s, the brand new Fire Destination MT2s in a 35 by 12.5. So they're very heavy. I'm running street pressures at 40 PSI. I'm here in Whitefish, just getting on the road for the day. And I just filled up my first baseline fill up. I'm full. It's only 11.9 gallons to fill it up. So let's see how today goes. Gassed up number 2 outside of Butte, Montana, and it looks like we have gone a total of 236.22 miles in a little over 4 hours. And our average speed's been 55, max speed 77, a little downhill. And our first, I guess, second gas fill up is gonna be 17.91 gallons of regular at 312 per gallon with a total of 5607. So not doing too bad. And got a long way to go still. We made it to Idaho Falls. We are 439 miles into the journey. Last fill up was 17.197 gallons, which cost $60. Making our way there. Just outside of Salt Lake, it is 7:03 p.m. and it is the 4th gas stop for the day. The odometer says 31,321 miles. We filled up with 12.72 gallons at $36.39. The total trip right now is at 618 miles. That means we still have a long way to go. But at least it's dark out, because that makes driving easier. Almost midnight, and I just made it to Moab. What a long drive. The taco's thirsty, and I am starving, but gonna get to the Airbnb and get set up for the week. It's gonna be a good time, but this is the last fill up. Let's see what the final numbers are. Final numbers from the entire trip is gonna be, according to Gaia and Onyx Map, 884.3 miles, which is a lot of miles. Here in Moab, it's midnight. It's very late. I've been driving for like 12 hours. Longer than that, 14 hours. It's a long day. Oh, here you go, total time, 15 hours. Yeah, I'm totally off. I'm that tired. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But what I'm gonna do is, on the way back, I'll be heading up to Montana on with the ULTIMATE9 completely turned off. Be back here at this same gas station to start the trip, and I'll end at the last gas station in Whitefish where I started the trip down here. I'll see you guys after 3 amazing days of off-roading in Moab.
Winch me!
Give it the... Okay.
You have to go up this one. There is no alternative.
I want to do that for mine.
We are going to throw our tail between our legs and go back the long way. Whoa! Just wrapped up the Moab trip. It is the day of leaving. It's early in the morning, 8 o'clock. It's cold out. It's like 30 degrees. And I am just filled up here at the Mavic. This is the baseline. ULTIMATE9 is getting turned off. And we're gonna do a long-term test all the way back to Montana to kind of see what the miles per gallon is without it. It's really interesting to see what the ULTIMATE9 can really do as far as saving money with the MPGs. I decided to take a slight detour, even though we're doing this testing. It's only, I think, 4 miles out of the way. And I've tossing the idea back and forth. I really wanted to stick to a really strict test, but I also really wanted to go to the Expedition Superstore here in Salt Lake. I am hardly ever in Salt Lake during actual business hours. So I decided, you know, I can justify the little side trip. It's only like 4 miles. I will have the exact mileage when I go to the gas station and actually record everything. So it shouldn't make that much of a difference in the effect of it. I just missed my turn. But this is gonna be an awesome side trip. I've always wanted to go to the Expedition Superstore, and now is my chance. I really pushed the limits on that drive. I think I already forgot, but it said like 10 or 15 miles till empty. I know that's an average, so it really wasn't that much, but that was close. It was buried into the E. But I didn't even make it all the way to the north end of Salt Lake. I only made it to the south end, just outside of the Expedition Superstore. So I got to go in and check that place out. It is just sick. That place is absolutely sick. You have to go in if you're ever near Salt Lake. It's totally worth it. And it might have been 6 miles out of pocket on this route. So I'm gonna get back on the freeway. I'm actually going to be staying in Idaho Falls tonight. That way I'm not driving through remote Montana with the snow in the middle of the night, which would be very bad. And my wife said is a big no-no, so I'm not doing that. Staying in Idaho Falls and then make the rest of the drive tomorrow. And by the way, these new Firestone tires are freaking amazing. Moab, they did great. On the road, they're doing great. I was driving through the snow in the passes between Salt Lake and Moab, and on the freeways in the snow, and they handled phenomenal. Like I am very impressed with these tires. These Firestone MT2s are just outstanding. It is day 2 of the drive home. Left the hotel and immediately filled up gas. Got everything restarted. Gaia Maps, Onyx are both rolling, and this is fill up 2 here in Idaho Falls. Today should be a longer day. As soon as I get north of here, I'm gonna get into the mountain passes of Idaho, into Montana. It's just gonna be snowy, gross roads the whole way home. I'm gonna be going nice and slow, because dying would suck. That's all I gotta say about that. Just left the gas station outside of Butte. Very anxious to get home. Grabbed a quick sandwich, and now I'm back on the road. I have one last stop, and it is the last stop of the trip in Whitefish, and it's only 4 hours away. Finally made it home, back where I started, back here at Whitefish at the Safeway gas station. Total of 890 miles from Moab back up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit stop on this. And now it is time to do the stuff that I really don't want to do, and that's math. So time to do some nerd shit. See you guys tomorrow. I made it home safe and sound. I've got an entire handful of receipts and a booklet full of data. Before we get into it though, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow, and I put out all kinds of overlanding content. Let's get into these numbers. Trip 1 from Whitefish to Moab is going to average out to 14.909 miles per gallon using the ULTIMATE9 in econo mode, which is a great result, especially with the Tacoma on 35s, heavily loaded down, traveling in those weather conditions. That was a really great result. And trip 2, which is going to be Moab back up to Whitefish, average miles per gallon 12.640 with factory setting, no influence whatsoever from the ULTIMATE9, which is not that impressive, but that's kind of the norm on the Tacoma. It is not a gas efficient vehicle whatsoever. So the total difference between the 2 miles per gallons over the 850 mile test each way was 2.269 miles per gallon better using the ULTIMATE9 than not using it. Going into a little bit more detail for you numbers nerds out there, which is not really fun for me. The total gallons used on trip 1 is going to be 59.314 gallons at an average fuel cost of $3.23 per gallon. That was a total of $191.58 for the trip down to Moab. On the trip back, I ended up hitting one gas station that was really much more expensive. I just wasn't paying attention. I just pulled in. I thought it was the same gas station, but it wasn't. So the way back, it was 70.427 gallons coming back at $3.50 per gallon, which is a total of $2.46 per, $0.49 to come back up north here to Montana. Now, if we average out the fuel cost for trip both ways to $3.50 per gallon, trip 1 was 59.314. That would have been $207.59. And then trip 2, which was $3.50, would still be $246.49 for the trip back up. Now, if I did my math right and you extrapolate this out for 1,000 miles. The total cost for 1,000 miles using the Ultimate 9 would be $234.50. And if you didn't use it, it'd be $277.76. So in a 1,000 mile test, you would save $43.26. Now, if you extrapolate that out again, the Ultimate 9X that I got is $250. It would take you 5,779 miles on my vehicle under my driving conditions to pay that off. Okay, now this is kind of cool. If you're owned this Tacoma here for 100,000 miles and subtracting the 5,779 miles to pay off the Ultimate 9, you would actually save $4,076 using the Ultimate 9 in econo mode with my rig, my conditions, all that good stuff, at an average price of $3.50 per gallon, which obviously is not true because gas prices are only going up. They're definitely not going down. So you will end up saving more money, but that's an average gas price of $3.50 per gallon. So that is a really cool example of how much money you can actually save using the Ultimate 9 in econo mode. On top of all the other features, the Ultimate 9 is definitely a worthy investment into your vehicle, especially because you can pay it off in less than 6,000 miles. Plus you have launch mode, Ultimate 9 mode, econo mode, valet mode, anti-theft mode. It's definitely a worthwhile investment into your vehicle. All right, guys, if you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, helps the channel grow, and I will see you guys next time.